Why shouldn't somebody get a tattoo?
You shouldn't get tattooed because you don't want to.
Don't get a tattoo to save a marriage.
Don't get a tattoo because it fucking hurts. I'm a bitch.
Don't get a tattoo because you're in love with someone.
Don't get a tattoo if you have a sunburn.
I can't think of any good reason for that. Get a tattoo. Tattoos are sick.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody ever not to get a tat, because I'm down to do some tats.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
Right, where we were talking to two people who have face tat faces.
do all the weirdest fucking tats.
So we're down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think everyone can make our own choice. You know, that our part is just recommend something and say, you know, not what is good or not good, or but just give some advert, you know, to make good choices.
When I tattooed his leg, he was hovering on the bed like this. Stop!
Don't get a tattoo if it doesn't really comes from within you, you know, you have the rest of your life to figure out something cool.
Don't get a tattoo if you feel pressured into it. It's gonna be on there for life. So whatever reasons you're feeling like you need to go in that direction and you don't really want to, don't do it. Also, don't get tattooed if you're not willing to deal with the consequences of being judged.
Yeah, people telling me on the street that you look shit. Like, because I've blacked stuff out from when I was young, they like the stuff I'm getting lasered off and they tell me how bad my black is, and I'm like, yeah, thanks.
I feel that whenever someone gets the name of a loved one, if they're in a relationship, it's because they're having questions about the relationship and they just want to kind of reassure their status but you know, things never work, you know, like that.
Most people came in to get the names almost like you know, when couples will have a kid to save a marriage or something like that. It seemed like that.
Don't get a tattoo if you're just wanting to get a tattoo. You end up with a tattoo that maybe that's cool, because I have one currently right here, and I got it because he wanted to tattoo it, and I was like, oh, I'll get it, you know, I want to be a friend, and now I don't want it.
What is it?
Steven Seagal.
Oh shit. In Illinois, where I work, there used to be a 21 age limit, and I was always real good with that, you know, even though I wasn't even legal when I started my apprenticeship. But I was always real good with that because, you know, people in their late teens, they're still figuring out who they are. And you get somebody that young in their chair and they just want something cool, and all you can do is do your best to make it look as good as possible and hope that they'll not evolve out of it.
Don't get face tattoos if you don't have a career. Just don't do it. Y'all think it's cute now. I literally had a mom come in and try to convince me to tattoo her 20-year-old's face. A little peep tattoo. I was like, dude, no, this is wrong. Those people don't get tattoos. Just don't do it. And in this case, it's funny because it was reversed, because I used to tell kids, if you bring your mom and she says it's okay, then I'll do it, you know? Because they're grown adults, but I'm as my extra step for bad decisions, I'm bring mom in and we'll see what she has to say. And this one, the mom comes in and the kid's like, no, mom, I don't think it's a good idea. And the mom's like, why not? You know,
I mean, when people want their hands tattooed, they want something on their face, their neck, you know, and they're not heavily tattooed, I always ask, you know, how old are you? What do you want to do? What do you do? Are you in school? I always try to think about that. You know, there's a lot of 18-year-olds that just want a neck tattoo, you know? So I try to give them that spill on, hey man, you know, maybe figure out what you're gonna do with your career, figure out what you're gonna do, because being cool for your 20s is gonna suck when you don't have a career in your 30s.
Yeah.
Don't get it done in your friend's house.
Yes, if it's not clean in the shop, if you are worried about anything, if you think
Just
that
ask.
they reused a needle, don't get it done. And it doesn't hurt. If you ask the artist, they can show you, okay, this is a clean package, I just opened it up, you know, and if it's already been opened before you got there, because they already set up in preparation for you and you're that nervous about it, any good artist will not have a problem just opening a new needle to show you that it's clean.
I don't understand when people start listening to music and after a month they'll go crazy and get a huge portrait of the person, but that's your decision. Again, if you want to ruin your life, ruin your life. But if you're doing that just to belong to a group that isn't naturally yours, or you just feel like you gotta get tattooed because your boyfriend or girlfriend has one, your friends are getting one, just do it because you really want to get it done and it's something that's important to you, because you can't undo that. Yeah, you can get laser removal, but it doesn't really remove it. Just make sure you're willing to live with it for literally the rest of your life.
So if you go on YouTube, there's actually a guy who made a bunch of videos. He's a Christian guy. Like, obviously the shirt doesn't fucking ring it enough, but like, this dude goes on videos talking about why tattoos are bad and why you shouldn't get tattooed. And the whole philosophy behind every single video actually has no real articulated point. It's just like, think of what your family will think, and think of like what your girlfriend's gonna say, and think of what your boss is gonna think. And it's like, first of all, current culture has kind of adapted tattoos well. Second of all, I don't think people pay that much attention to tattoos. I'm obviously biased because we're in the industry, so
yeah,
that's a whole nother realm for us. But if you keep it covered, who gives a fuck? Like, the person that you love shouldn't be someone that judges you for what you're trying to emulate as a part of yourself anyway.
I think everyone should get tattoos. No, well, yeah, I do think that, but at the same time, I don't think you should get a tattoo just because you just turned 18 and you've had this idea in your head since you were 13, you know? That's one of those ones where it's like, you have to realize you're not gonna like what you like now, 5 years from now. Even as an 18-year-old, you're really just, you're a baby still. I don't care if you're legally an adult, you're still a baby as far as experience in life goes. So I always suggest to people, try to get just more experience in life before you start deciding on stuff that you feel like is timeless to you, and then later on finding out that it was just a fad in your life, you know? So stick to stuff that's kind of like timeless, like family stuff, religious stuff, if you're really into that. I'm really into the hype of getting the professional, like doctors and all that. I want them to have sleeves that really make a statement, that really like add to their look as an accessory, rather than having like this crazy separated tattoo that's like doesn't even look like a part of their body, you know what I mean? So really get that classy look down so that we can get all the professionals in the world to start rocking our pieces.